Great, thanks. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Alexandra, Your Honor.
All right, so Miss LaVine, I am seeing you on a warrant for a driving under the influence case in justice court. And since you already have a bond, I am going to hold you on $100 bond on this so you can get some credit while you're in there. Appoint Mr. Betancourt Morales to represent you. And I'm going to set the hearing for tomorrow at 1 p.m. Just on this misdemeanor, okay?
So I can get out today.
You can't get out today. It looks like you have another bond, plus now you have this bond too. So you're going to be held at least till tomorrow, but I don't know what's happening with your felony case. So.
Okay, so there's nothing I can do right now about
nothing I can do right now. So like I said, that's why I'm going to give you a little bond so you get credit for everything, okay?
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that's it.
Your Honor, this is Dale. Anthony Lopez is refusing.
Okay. Has he refused before? Nope. All right, we'll call him a refusal then. All right, what's your name, sir?
Jesse Tucker Shore.
All right, Mr. Shore, you are charged with assault, and it looks like you've got another case already. So what I'm going to do is order you not to have any contact with the victim, and I'm going to appoint Mr. Betancourt Morales to represent you on this misdemeanor assault and hold you on $100 bond so you get credit for it while you're in there already. And then your next court date will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. on this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's it. All right, I will continue Lopez till tonight, see if he's more inclined.
Morning, Miss.
What's your name?
Andres Jesus Moreno.
All right, Mr.
Happy New Year, Miss, by the way.
You too. Let's see, Mr. Moreno, you are charged with disorderly conduct. All right, I am going to order you not to return to the incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to release you. You need to come back to court on January 31st at 9:30 to Justice Court, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
January 31st.
Yeah, they'll get your paperwork.
Thank you, Miss. I appreciate you.
All right.
Happy New Year, Miss. I like your earrings.
Thanks.
Mary? Moreno?
So, Mr. Frank, you training? No, but I got first. Yeah, I appreciate it. You didn't come in, see the road, sorry. See who has to give you the power. Yeah, see, I'm aware of my sorry. See, but. What do you? See for short.
What are we doing over here? I'm going back up.
Yeah, she was,
We don't have a wheelchair? Do we have a wheelchair over there?
I can look.
Looking on transport, we might have one side of us. But it is. Yeah, word.
Was it one word? Or one. All we get is. When you got phone. You're good. You do one. Go and take a seat right there, okay?
Your Honor,
Yes,
Stoner's gonna be a minute. She's on your list. If she had a seizure right now, so she's gonna be a minute, okay?
who?
Stoner,
What's so funny? She had a seizure.
she had a seizure in the pit, man.
Okay,
My apologies. She hasn't had her medicine in a while. I told the police this, and no one's caring. She had a coma in minutes.
all right, what's your name, sir?
Procedural Jackie Weaver.
I'm totally lost now. All right, just a sec. All right, Mr. Weaver, you have multiple failures to appear on a shoplift charge from 2023 out of Moreno. And it's got a $350 bond on it, which I'm going to hold you on since you have so many failures to appear on it.
What?
Yeah.
No.
And I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, Janet Altschuler,
Can I get out the bond?
and you can post the bond. Yep.
How much is my bond?
350.
300.
$350?
Yep. And your next court date will be tomorrow at noon if you don't post it. Then you also have warrant out of justice court with a failure. to-
What for? Because I feel like these warrants are false.
Of
I
course.
feel
But as long as you're in there. Let me see. I'm gonna hold you on $100 on that one and appoint Ms. Altschuler on that one too. And that one will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So don't go back to any of the incident locations. And you'll be seen in court tomorrow and Ms. Altschuler will represent you. All right, that's it, sir. What's your name? You guys are muted.
Erica Marie Pereira.
All right, Ms. Pareda, you are charged with shoplifting and with a failure to appear. So oops, hold on a sec. Am going to release you on that and set your next court date for January 31st at 9:30. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest again. Then you also have city court failures to appear in a drug paraphernalia and a new criminal trespass. So don't go back to any of the incident locations. And on the city court case, you have to come back February 10th at 2:00 or a warrant will issue for your arrest. All right?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Jennifer?
What's your name, ma'am?
Jennifer Santos.
Okay. Put you all. Ms. Santos, you are charged with domestic violence assault. I'm going to order you not to commit any acts of domestic violence. And you need to come back to court in justice court on January 31st at 10:30 or a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Okay, so January 31st at 1:30.
Yep, they'll give you a copy of the paper.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
All right. All right. you're
Thank you.
released.
Next.
Yes.
We'll be in touch with you, please.
What's your name, ma'am?
Brianna Blackwell.
All right, you're charged with domestic violence assault, domestic violence, criminal damage. I'm going to order you not to commit any acts of domestic violence, and you need to come back to city court on January
Unknown
28th,
participant is now joining.
3:00 or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
I do.
Bristol? Okay, so that's the answer.
See, yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bristol, you're charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and a criminal trespass charge. And I don't have a pretrial services report. Is pretrial online? And do you guys have a report on Mr. Bristol?
Let me see if it's set back to review.
Okay. How many other guns do you have, Mr. Bristol?
None.
Okay, it should be available.
Check really quick. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Bristol, I am going to order you not to commit any acts of domestic violence, not to possess any firearms, and if you have any more, you need to turn them in, and that means you can't collect any that were taken by the police, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, and you need to come back to court on January 28th at 3:00 or a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you're released.
Oh, sorry. So go straight down and go over to the man, right? This side. Jones.
What's your name, ma'am?
Dejanay Jones.
All right, you are charged with, let's see what your newest one is. Domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 2 counts. So I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I am going to order you not to have any contact with Virginia Rico and not to return to her residence. No acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm gonna hold you on a $500 bond and set you in front of Judge Blue on January 9th at 1:45 and appoint the public defender to represent you. And that's it, ma'am.
That's it.
What's your name?
Nancy Loyola-Moses.
All right, you're charged with domestic violence assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to release you, order you not to commit acts of domestic violence, and you need to come back to court, city court on February 6th at 9 o'clock, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then you're released.
Thank you.
This is Morales, who's the Spanish speaker. Is that right? Appreciate it. Press this here.
Do I have that? Nope, there it is. Do I have an interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
¿Cuál es su nombre, señora?
Maria Morales.
All right, you are charged.
María Morales.
You are charged with domestic violence, assault,
A usted la acusan de violencia doméstica y agresión.
and I am going to order you not to have any contact with Luis Lucatero and not to return to his residence.
Voy a ordenar que no tenga contacto con Luis Lucaterro y que no regrese a la residencia de él.
And no acts of domestic violence.
Que no cometa ningún acto de violencia doméstica.
And you need to come back to court on January 31st at 10:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Y tiene que regresar a la corte el 31 de enero a las 10:30 o se puede poner una orden por su arresto.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so you're released with those conditions.
Muy bien, señora, ya se debe liberar con esas condiciones.
Your Honor, we're bringing Garcia a model.
Okay. Do we have a PD coming with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so sir, you have a warrant out of Superior Court from incidents that happened between November 18th, 2020 and October 1st, 2022. And counsel, I assume you want to waive the reading of those?
Yes, please.
Okay. And there's a $25,000 bond recommendation on the warrant, and the county attorney's asking for the same thing. Did you want to be heard, counsel?
Briefly, I just want to note that Mr. Garcia was not previously arrested in this matter. It was issued on a direct indictment. He's 39 years old and a lifelong resident. And although he's currently unemployed, pretrial services was able to verify with his mother that they live together. He has a stable residence and there are no children at the home. His last priors from 2013, and I don't believe it's of a similar nature. So I would ask the court to award just a low bond.
Okay. All right, sir, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, order you not to have any contact with minors. Don't return to any of the incident locations in these charges. No alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to hold the defendant on a $10,000 bond and release to pretrial services if it's posted. And the arraignment will be on January 8th at 1:30. Given how old this case is. So are we holding off on Stoner, or are we continuing her to tonight? I couldn't really hear what you guys were saying.
Yes, ma'am. She had a seizure, so we're going to continue her for the night, ma'am.
Continue her for tonight. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I know that the victim is present, so you're welcome to sign in again tonight, sir.
Okay, and what time tonight would that be?
We start them at 7.
In the morning?
No,
Oh,
tonight,
can't
yeah,
leave that
yeah.
tonight. I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's
my wife, she just,
Yeah,
you know,
so you
because
can,
I told everybody, I hope they've given her some lacosamide. That's her medication. I don't know if she'll remember.
okay,
Lacosamide.
all right. Well, you can speak to the
50
judge
milligrams.
tonight, but I know that you told pretrial services that you wanted contact, so we'll just continue it to tonight. Maybe she'll be in a better space, okay? All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Your Honor, is Mr. Garcia, excused?
Yes, he is, I'm sorry, yep.
Okay, that's okay.
Fine. Your Honor?
Yes.
I was wondering, ma'am, if we could put Kelly at the last, please.
Okay,
He's not very nice. He's I don't know.
okay.
Set up. Straight red.
What's your name, sir?
Victor Manuel Barrios.
You're charged with felony disorderly conduct, unlawful discharge of firearms, and 4 counts of misdemeanor endangerment. 3 of them are domestic violence. I'm not sure where that came from. Ms. Goodman, do you see why one is not a DV?
That would be possibly the neighbor, Your Honor, and the others are the minors.
Okay. All right. So, the state's asking for a $7,500 bond, I think. Counsel, did you want to be heard?
I do, Your Honor. I am asking for pretrial release, given that he's 21 years old. He is low on the NCA and FTA scales. He's a lifelong resident and lives with his family. His mother verified that she can provide support, and he maintains full-time employment. Perhaps most importantly, he has no priors. I will note that the interim complaint stated that the weapon allegedly discharged was discharged into the ground. He was compliant, and the call came from a neighbor. Everyone was okay. There were no injuries. So for all of those reasons, pretrial assessed him at a level 1 and is non-violent. So I am asking the court to consider respectfully pretrial release.
All right, Mr. Barrios, got any more guns?
No, ma'am.
Can't possess any firearms. You have to surrender any guns that you do have to the police department while the case is pending.
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. I will release you to pretrial services, and your next court date will be the 21st of January at 1:30. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Thank you.
Is he excused?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Audience.
What's your name?
Luis Ramon Gainez Jr.
All right, you are charged with felony disorderly conduct, discharging a weapon, and the state's asking for a $3,500 bond. Counsel, if the defendant, I'm gonna release him to pretrial. I'm not gonna. But don't be a moron. All right, Mr. Kanye, do you have any other guns?
No, ma'am.
Don't possess any firearms. Surrender any guns you do have. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No return to the incident location. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you and release you to pretrial services. So you need to report to them and come back to court for your preliminary hearing on January 21st at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for you. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right.
Line.
All right, Ms. Klein, you are charged with possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia. Counsel, the state's asking for a bond, and I have a pile of failures to appear. Did you want to be heard?
I'm sorry. Your Honor, if I can just have a minute. It appears Ms. Klein has a question. Just give me 1 second. All right, Your Honor, we are ready to proceed. I spoke with Mrs. Klein. We're just asking for a low bond given what the court has shared. And I just note that it appears she's eligible for smart.
Okay. All right, so ma'am, I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you and order you not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And I will give you a smart hearing, a diversion type of program on January 8th at 9 o'clock. And then hold you on a $1,500 bond, released to pretrial services if posted. And then January 13th at 1:30 will be the preliminary hearing. Then you have multiple failures to appear. It looks like they are all criminal trespasses out of city court and from 2023 and 2024. So I'm going to order you not to go back to any of the incident locations. I'm going to appoint a city public defender to represent you and hold you on a $250 bond on those so you get some credit while you're in there. And those court dates will be set for January 10th at 1:45. And that is it.
Great.
What's your name, sir?
Roger Gray.
All right, you are charged with aggravated assault, endangerment, and felony criminal damage. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I am going to note that Mr. Gray doesn't have any kind of criminal history, I believe, right, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so based on that, I am going to Order you not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't drive without a valid license. No contact with the victim in this case. And I'm going to release you on your promise to appear in court January 21st at 1:30. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
I do.
All right.
Your Honor, it appears that one of the injuries sustained was by his wife. Are you ordering no contact with her?
Oh, I thought it was just a one ag assault, so I was assuming it was the other one, but all right, let me fix that. That is
So
what I-
just the no contact with the other.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll put the name if I can find it. I'm not sure if there is a name with we'll say with no contact with unrelated party victim.
Okay.
How about that? Okay.
Yes, perfect.
Thanks for catching that. Okay.
All right. You'll be released. No, you need to get in touch. Okay. Call tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Take it.
Listed.
What's your name, sir?
Elliot, listen.
I knew I recognized your name. Hi, Mr. Liston. All right, you are charged with aggravated driving under the influence, and counsel the state's asking for a $7,500 bond. Did you want to be heard?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I am hoping that the court would consider pretrial release. He's not high on the FTA or FCA scales, and he is a lifelong resident with full-time employment. His priors are older, and it's unclear to me why the driver's license is not valid. So just given that he was assessed at a level 2 and it was a non-violent event, I am asking for pretrial release or a low bond.
Okay. Pretrial said in the report that he's got a suspension from a January 2024 DUI, which is what concerns
I
me.
see.
So
Okay.
that's not listed in there, but that was what concerned me. So I am going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Liston. And given this history of DUIs, I am going to hold him on a $7,500 bond, pretrial services if posted. No alcohol or illegal drugs, don't drive without a valid license. The preliminary hearing will be the 13th at 1:30. And did I say appoint the public defender? I meant to.
Yes.
All right, Mr.
Thank you. Okay.
What's it?
What's your name, sir?
Vincent Luan.
All right, you are charged with felony criminal damage. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Order you not to have any contact with any of the victims whose cars were allegedly damaged. Don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't go back to the incident location. And I'm going to release you to pretrial services. So you need to report to them and come back to court for your preliminary hearing on the 21st of January at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I get this.
All right. Are you Robert Maddox?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Goodman, I told the officer that I don't think he can amend this to a whole nother statute. I think it needs to be dismissed and refiled. So, because Mr. Maddox was charged with a residential criminal trespass as opposed to a non-residential, and I wouldn't mind if it was like a subsection of the same charge, but I think that makes it a whole new charge. So,
And Your Honor,
go ahead.
considering the court's input, I do respectfully request if if the defendant does get released instead of dismissing, the facts are all available and present. It's just the issue is the subsection of, not the subsection, the actual statute. And per rule 4, if there's no probable cause based on that, Your Honor, it's the defendant should be released, not dismissed.
So what's the defense say to that?
Your Honor, I would ask for dismissal based on lack of probable cause. However, there's different readings of that statute. That rule. So I just defer to the court.
All right. What's the rule again? I can't remember it off the top. Tell me the rule.
It's rule 4.2, Your Honor, for Arizona criminal procedure. It will be A subsection 4.
Eh.
I mean, if it's dismissed based on probable cause and the person is inherently released from custody. So
Because if it remains, that's something that can be corrected if the case proceeds for issuing
Well,
or charging.
I guess the reason I like it that way is because I can still tell him not to go back, which is my main concern here. So I will note that I don't find any probable cause and I'm going to release him, but I will comply. I guess I read 4.2 that way also. I've always thought about it because I always think about things as a misdemeanor, right? So, okay. All right, so sir, for you, that means I'm going to appoint the public defender, order you not to go back to the incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to release you on your promise to appear on January 21st at 1:30 for a preliminary hearing, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah. What's your name?
Shane Michael Kelly.
What's your name?
Shane Kelly.
Oh, okay.
It's SHAYNE.
All right, you're charged with disorderly conduct with a weapon. And counsel, the state's asking for no bond hold, so I'm going to do that considering that he is pending in a case already. I will appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Kelly. No contact with the victims. No return to their residence. No firearms.
Yeah, no have.
Surrender any firearms you have. No alcohol or illegal drugs.
Yeah.
And the bond hearing will be January 6th at 2:30.
I have a court that date for another.
Hearing will be January 13th at 1:30.
Okay, 1 second. Your Honor, I'm just going to speak with Mr. Kelly.
Okay.
I never even been to jail.
I understand.
Holy moly. So,
We're done.
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know what we even do here. Like,
You're gonna call your attorney tomorrow.
I would get a call for today.
Just because the office is closed.
I have, okay, I'm a member of the GOA and the NRA-ILA. This is going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
All right. What's your name, sir? Let's start with the felony. You are charged with robbery, and the state's asking for a $5,000 bond. Counsel, did you want to be heard?
Your Honor, I would just note that it appears like he has a verified residence and some community ties. I understand he's been assessed at a level 4 plus, so we're just asking for it.
Okay. I will appoint the public defender to represent the defendant. No return to the incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons. $5,000 bond. Pretrial services have posted January 13th at 1:30 will be the preliminary hearing. Then I've got a bunch of warrants. Let's see. I got a warrant out of Moreno City Court for a failure to appear on a drug paraphernalia. I'm going to release you on that one. And your next court date will be the 29th of January at 10 o'clock. But I'll note that you're in custody so that Judge McDonald knows where you are. Then you got 2 justice court cases. Shoplifting, failures to appear, shoplifting, false reporting, failure to appear. So on those, I'm going to hold you on a $100 bond and appoint Robin Ald to represent you. And your court date on those will be set for tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Let me do those. And then you have a bunch of city court cases. And the city court cases, assault, criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, 2 more assaults. So on those, I'm going to hold you on a $500 bond, give you a city public defender. And your next court date on those will be the 10th of January at 1:45. And that should be it, sir. And that's it, right, y'all? Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.